Finally, we hit the mountaintop. My new favorite episode, The Last of Us Episode 5, gets a 10. What's going on YouTube? My name's Jay Lee and I like a lot of stuff. Today I'm talking about this week's episode called
Endure and Survive.
That shit's redundant.
From the get-go, this episode goes friggin' hard. And to be able to talk about this episode in detail, I'm kicking off this review with a spoiler warning. Do not watch this video if you haven't seen the latest episode, because it is one hell of an episode. In my last review, I talked about the showrunners having a plan for Kathleen and why she appeared the way she did. I heard another reviewer refer to her as a Karen, and it was a glass-shattering moment for me.
That's absolutely right.
It was that whiny, out of line, out of her depth kind of energy that made me question why the F she was in charge. And straight out of the gates, we get to see that backstory. And now it's pretty clear that she really was kind of a Karen. She's not a revolutionary leader, she's not a soldier, nor a motivational speaker. She was somebody's sister. A sister living in the shadow of her well-respected, influential brother, who she obviously loved and revered. So when Henry gave up her brother to Fedra, something broke inside her, and this Karen went straight to the online message boards and cancelled Fedra. She caused a revolution in Kansas City because, as literature has taught us, hell hath no fury. Though I now understand the character a whole lot more, I still don't particularly enjoy the performance. I do, however, feel quite bad for the actress Melanie Lynskey because she's been getting a lot of shit online for merely playing a role in a TV show. But such is the internet. Anyways, being able to see the horrible, grim onset of the revolution and understanding the death that spurred the uprising felt necessary for Sam and Henry's story. The show adds even more depth to this already detailed world when Joel mentions that
You always heard Casey Fedra was
Monsters? Savages? Yeah, you heard right.
and it's immediately understood that not all QZs across the US are the same. It's the kind of world building that works so well as a TV show, whereas the game would have had you find newspaper clippings or notes and had you read it if you really wanted to know more about the lore. The changes they made to Sam and Henry were welcomed additions as well. Both brothers are now younger than they were in the game, which rationalizes why they would want to partner up with Joel to get out of the city.
And pointing an unloaded gun at you is the closest I've ever come to being violent.
But the biggest change is making Sam deaf, which creates a very unique brother dynamic in that the two would have to communicate using sign language. Again, it's another wrinkle in this Last of Us world that didn't need to exist had they just copied the video game. But as a cinematic viewing experience, it just made everything better. Before I go on, I just want to shout out the seemingly random but perfectly executed bit of humor when Joel and Ellie wake up to guns in their faces.
We didn't hurt you, so you don't hurt us, right?
That's right.
It's a weird fucking tone, man.
I pissed myself laughing at this because Pedro Pascal is so subtly menacing, and when Sam calls him out, I died. But little did I know they were gonna double down and get Ellie involved too.
That's just the way he sounds. He has an asshole voice. Joel, tell him he's okay.
Everything is great.
Dude.
I had to rewind it back a few times because my wife and I were laughing so hard. It was a ridiculously funny moment in an otherwise really tense scene. So good. 10. And honestly, this kicks off a slew of really incredible dialogue bits between Joel and Sam. Right up until the end, I was supremely engaged each time they exchanged words. I seriously can't talk about all the things I love this week, otherwise I'd be going through the episode in its entirety. So I'm gonna jump straight to the sniper scene as I alluded to it in my last review. We got a bloater! But just before the appearance of the bloater, we get an incredible scene straight out of the video game, complete with a sneak around stealth component before watching Joel having to snipe all the infected off of Ellie. This part was tremendous. And to have it all topped off with the emergence of a freaking bloater from the tunnels? 10. Seriously though, I got so much out of this episode that I'm still coming down from the high a few days later. I can't say for sure if it will be my most rewatched episode of the season, but man, I enjoyed this one a lot. For the gamers out there, we all knew how the Sam Henry stuff was gonna play out, but the performance by Lamar Johnson in those final moments was breathtaking and made the death hit hard despite having the foresight. Bella Ramsey's gasp after the trigger was pulled made it especially shocking. What's not shocking is my score. The Last of Us Episode 5 is by far my favorite of the series thus far, and gets a big old 10 from me. 4 more episodes to go and I can't wait to get back into it. The sad part about getting an episode early is that now we have to wait longer than a week to get our HBO fix. Ah well, I hope you come back soon to catch my thoughts on all the stuff I haven't talked about yet.